month, we've been talking about how important a life of balance is. That, yes, we strive as humans, we get caught up in the busyness of the world and and the heaviness of what's happening in our world, and we forget how we learn by play. So yesterday I thought, okay, I've been working on this talk. I need to give myself permission to play. So what can I do that's fun? What can we do that's fun? So I happened to see on Nextdoor that there was a lineman rodeo. Now, this is a rodeo, but it's a lineman rodeo, which is, the linemen, the guys that walk, that do the lines, the electric lines. So what could that possibly be? So I thought, well, let's go see. It was in Pflugerville, so not that far away. And what they'd done is they set up a field with poles. I mean, 2 months ago, the field was like this grass, and now it's got hundreds of utility poles and the lines strung between them. And so what's happening here is there are teams. They are serious teams. There are hunky teams out there, and they are practicing their skills, the skills required in competition, like climbing and working off a pole and making sure everybody's safe. And this is all timed like you would in a rodeo. And I thought, wow, these guys have permission to play, to be in this competition. And what they're doing at the same time is they're bonding, they're being more productive in working together, and they're practicing their safety skills, they're practicing their other skills, and they're learning from each other because they are seeing how other people do things as well. So I thought, wow, this is play. This is divine play. And so it fits right in because all month we've been talking about this. It's how important a life of play, balance, rest is for our health, our both inside and outside, and play that helps develop relationships. And those relationships filled with joy and meaning. And so what if we embraced the idea of playing together as a key component of healthy living? We've been separated for a while, but yet we found ways to play. We've been able to play online and to play games and to play from a distance, maybe. So Spirit has created each one of us with an overflowing capacity for joy, for balance, for freedom. And yet we do get caught up in the busyness of the world and we forget to engage these essential aspects of our divine selves. What if we thought about play as a sacred activity that is absolutely necessary for our complete expression in this life? See, that play, that laughter, that joy is healing to the body, to the mind, to the heart. It connects us with others and inspires our greater yet to be. As Veronica told us a few weeks ago, practice of play, of laughing, lightens us up. We feel better. We get those endorphins going. We feel more relaxed. And and yes, there are real things happening on the planet that are cause for concern, and they need tending to. But a heart that feels relaxed has greater access to creative solutions. And connecting with the divine definitely can feel like heavy work sometimes. Between meditation, did I get it right? Prayer, oh, do I have that right? Contemplation and acting as that serious spiritual person who has time to play. And we forget that that joy and freedom are divine qualities too, that spirit is dancing in the background, in and through us all the time. Spirit is dancing, calling us to celebrate the serious, celebrate the silly. And what if at the end of the day, spirit is just asking us to come out and play? Remember the concept that Reverend Rainbow talked about a few weeks ago, playing Twister with God? Well, I found out something. I found out that Twister is a tornado's favorite game to play. It's the truth. And do you know why pirates can't play cards? Because they're always standing on the deck. And do you know why the shoes couldn't go out and play? They were all tied up. See, that playfulness is often interpreted as frivolous, something associated with children, maybe something purely physical, like, you know, playing a game, playing baseball, playing football. And yet it's more than that. It's an inherent part of human nature, and it's crucial for our personal growth. See, healing ourselves and body, mind, and spirit coming together with that one is one of the biggest reasons we come together to study metaphysics, to see how we can relate to each other and how we can be in that oneness together. And so we take this very seriously when we enter into metaphysics. It's like, yes, things we think are important. We take it so serious, and we watch our self-talk, we observe our thoughts, we seek to actively shift our beliefs. But what if we're missing that key element of humor and joy that brings a lightness to our life? What if we now went and said, hey, that's part of the balance in life. Let me give myself permission to play. In the Declaration of Principles, Ernest Holmes wrote, we believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God. Ooh, law sounds very heavy. And that we're surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thoughts and acts upon it. So we believe in the healing of the sick through the power of this mind. We believe in the control of conditions through the power of this mind. And what about the activation of joy as laughter, play, and fun? That's how we engage the mind in healing and wholeness. It also, in that Declaration of Principles, Ernest Holmes says, we believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. And we believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete freedom from all discord of any nature. And that goal is sure to be attained by all. And so, as we recognize that we are playing with the divine all of the time, we connect with those divine qualities of freedom and joy that flow naturally when we're connected. And also the Declaration of Principles, we believe in the unity of all life. The highest God, the innermost God, is one God. And we believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature. And anyone that lives in close contact with the indwelling God may become a revealer of this truth. And so all of this is to say that there is so much more that we are capable of, and so much more joy that is possible in our lives. And it's not that we have a playful side and a spiritual side. We have one, and that is the playful spiritual beingness of us. And Ernest Holmes recognized this. He said, if we are to know a God of joy, we must be joyful. And so we need to let go of that confusion that tells us spiritual, serious, play, laughter, frivolous, and unimportant. We need to be balanced people. And we have heard many times, joy is the most infallible sign of the presence of God. And so when we make space inside ourselves to really laugh, to live in the expression of play, of joy, we are being so much our real self, our God self. And then we invite others in, because if we feel that we're onlookers and not participants in the game of life, then we need to rediscover that joyful spirit, that childlike joy, which, remember the energy you had, the happiness, that childlike joy. And what did our master teacher say? Jesus said, let the children come to me. And so we come as childlike with that innocence, that sacred play, because that sacred play brings us several things, better relationships. I was thinking about those linemen in groups of 3, and their families are there watching them, and the children are there watching them. They're finally get to see what their fathers do, what their mothers do for work up on the line and they're seeing how other people are cheering them on. Better relationship and less anxiety when you know you're part of a team. What a great way to relieve stress when you know that everybody is playing together. We're all on the same side, we're all on the same team. Ah, and then sometimes we, especially now, try to relax with that passive entertainment that kind of lacks playfulness. It gets our minds off of things to do, but maybe we're doing that. Maybe we're watching Netflix like a lot. And what if we go for playful activities that engage the mind and just play a board game, create a playlist, you know, do something fun. So, and that allows us to be more creative in our thinking. So when we look at things as a playful way and not serious, then we can make up new connections and new ideas and new thoughts. I'm reminded when a couple years ago we were going on a safari and in the truck you sit like there's 10 people and there's two people, there's a little aisle and there's two more people and then there's people behind you, and Rob and I are sitting next to each other and we are quipping back and forth. And we're having a good time because we're putting words together in new ways with new animals and new sights. And the guy behind us says, "Are you guys always like this?" It's like, yeah, we are. So it was just a joyful time. So what would happen if you did something different, just something totally different? I have a story. It's a story about Brian. And the story is like this. When Brian's grandmother died, he sat down at her piano and played for the first time in 13 years. Having given up piano lessons for sports practices in school, he always intended to get back to the piano, but hadn't got around to it. And so just before his death, his grandmother told him she wished she'd spent more time playing. And so in an effort to distract himself from her absence, Brian took up a simple YouTube video and started to play. And he quickly advanced to a weekly lesson at a local music school. And within a few months, Brian was asked if he'd like to perform at the winter recital, something he'd never done before. And nothing quite prepares you to be an only adult performing in a piano recital with 14 children. But he did it. He played in front of the audience a song that had personal meaning to him. And at the juice and goldfish reception afterward, a little girl told him she wanted to grow up to be just like him. His takeaway: you're never too old to try something you love, just for yourself to play. And so how do we do this? How do we, get ourselves in that playful spot? Well, the first thing we have to do is be open to the willingness to be playful, to be with others in a playful way. I don't know if y'all have seen the movie Frozen and Anna and Elsa, and Anna just wants to play with Elsa. And trust me, there are people who want to play with you. It's not always easy to allow ourselves to be seen in that light of play. Sometimes we're silly, we make a fool of ourselves, and everybody laughs and has a good time. And part of that is overcoming the fear of taking off that serious nature. Oh my gosh, I have to take off this, I'm a minister, and just play. And just play and be and allow that inner child to come out. And it's through that that we come into a deeper knowing of ourselves and of the truth of being, that there is that divine spirit moving in us, through us, as us all of the time. And it is not taking itself seriously. I mean, look what it's done. It created a platypus, for heaven's sakes. How could that be serious? So accepting invitations to play is an essential step. This is something I'm working on. So when someone is willing to leave their comfort zone and invite you into their world, then say yes. In Psychology Today, Bernard de Koven writes that he'd read a novel by Dean Koontz called One Day Away from Heaven. And he quotes from that book about the playful presence. He said, every world has dogs or their equivalent, creatures that thrive on companionship, creatures that are a high order of intelligence, although not the highest, and that are simple enough in their wants and needs to remain innocent. And the combination of innocence and their intelligence allows them to serve as a bridge between what is transient and what is eternal, between the finite and the infinite. And he goes on, for those who despair that their lives are without meaning and without purpose, hope awaits in the dreams of a dog, where the sacred nature of life may be clearly experienced without the all but blinding filter of human needs and endless fear. And here, in a dream of woods and fields along the shores of dream seas, exists a profound awareness of the playful presence abiding in all things. That playful presence. And the coven goes on to ask, is it too much to ask that you be joyful always? Yes, probably because of the fear. Is it too much to ask that you always be playful, even when the fear becomes more than you imagined? Maybe it's not asking as much as asking for the all-time joy, but maybe still too much. So how about this instead? How about just being open to the possibility of joy? What would it be like if we were open to the possibility of joy? He says it's easier if you are playful all of the time, because then you can hold these things lightly. As true as they are, as real as they are to us at the time, anger, fear, hatred, hold them lightly so that you can let go when you can. So you can be open enough with empty hands to grasp the joy fully. The omnipresent joy that children and dogs and everything that plays, even trees blowing in the wind, the celebration of joy made manifest. What would it be like if we were just open to the possibility of joy? And in certain situations, we are. I know when I go see my siblings, I always open to the possibility of joy because my experience has been that we laugh hysterically. At some point during our gathering, there is hysterical laughter. Usually I'm part of that. Well, okay, usually I'm the instigator of that. I know it's going to be there. I don't know when it's going to come, but there is hysterical laughter. And so when we're willing to play with one another, we have the opportunity to open even further, the loosening up in front of people and to play. So I'm going to play right now. Let's have a little playful, game shows. So we can do a little game on this chat today. So I'm going to start a poll. The poll has 4 questions and it should pop up on your screen. You should be able to select the question. You should be able to select the answer. So let's see if it works. And if it doesn't, we're going to be playful anyhow. So let's just see what happens. I'm going to please stop it and start it. Okay. Oops, I'm sharing the results. I have to stop sharing. Oh no, it won't work. I have to end the game. Relaunch. Okay, relaunch. Oh, okay, now, do you see the poll? Okay, got it. So first question, what is not one of the first 4 chapters in the Science of Mind textbook? The way it works, it's a God thing, how to use it, and what it does. Okay, select one. Okay, does it allow you to click on it? All right. Okay. Next question. Who was called the teacher of teachers? Mary Baker Eddy, Myrtle Fillmore, Emma Curtis Hopkins. Okay. Gratitude is which step in treatment? First step, second step, third step, fourth step, fifth step. Okay. Number 4, last one. What was Ernest Holmes' middle name? Sherwood, Shirtliff, Sherlock, Shirtless. All right. Very good. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So ah, we've got answers coming in. Yay! So I am going to end the poll now and I'll share the results. Okay. Oh, everybody got that. It's a God thing is not one of the first 4 chapters. What's that supposed to be? It's supposed to be the thing itself. The thing itself, the way it works, how to use it, what it does. Okay. The teacher of teachers was Emma Curtis Hopkins, scientific Christian mental practice, high mysticism. And gratitude, well, gratitude is all the steps, right? But it is number 4. And what was Ernest Holmes' middle name? Oh, nobody picked shirtless. It was actually Shirtliff. And so, yay, that was fun for me. I hope it was fun for you. So, all right. I'm going to stop that now. So, just games, just playing something in the middle of the day for no apparent reason, uh, gets us out of our our heads and into that, oh, that just joyful feeling. Charles Schaefer said, "We're never more fully alive, more completely ourselves, or more deeply engrossed in anything than when we're playing." And because of this, we're able to be known most deeply and completely in this space of play. This expansion of possibilities and the flowering relationships that come forth will have you accepting those playful invitations and heaven forbid, even learning to extend them to others. Oh gosh. In Ernest Holmes' A New Design for Living, he wrote, "The present moment can never provide us with more joy than we are able to embody." And it's so easy when we are open and ready to do that. So I had to ask myself some questions. I said, when I'm invited to do something fun, what causes me to turn down that invitation? And who do I know in my community that could really use a fun invitation from me? And what do I love to do that would be fun to share with my greater community? So let us think about those things that we love to do and that's your homework for this week. So make plans with a friend to do something fun together. And so put it on your calendar and don't let anything bump it off. And think about how you can invite people to join with you, how you can invite people to play with you. Even if you can't be there in person, maybe you can play a game online. Maybe you can do something that's, a few weeks ago, a friend of mine challenged me to create something. And it was like a wide open invitation to create something. So I thought, okay, what can I create? So I had some fabric and I had I had some little cold packs. So I thought, okay, I'm going to create this thing. So I made little envelopes for my cold packs. So, so if I ever need one now, they've got this little fleece envelope on them. And to make it even more joyful, it says love and has little hearts on it. So it's like, oh, that was so much fun. So it was a playful thing. And then we shared our pictures of what we'd created. So this week, let's just let that sacred wonder of joy and love just blossom in us and explore the ways in which you can share a life of play with your loved ones. And so find a partner to dance with, play a board game that's inclusive, and just do something that's going to bring that joy. We like to play with our dog. She has kept us sane during some of these times of solitude and quiet because She knows every day that there's some time to play. And what she likes to play, well, what we like to play with her is hide and seek. So we go to one corner of the house. First of all, I have to give Rob some treats. Well, not treats for him, but and he's always disappointed at that. They're treats for the dog, honey. And so I give him the treats for the dog. And then I take some treats for the dog. And then we go hide. And so this is the deal. I go hide. Rob sends the dog after me. The dog comes. I give her the treat. Yay, she's excited. I'm excited. She found me. I get to hide again. Rob goes and hides. We send the dog. It's a playful thing. So this is joy, that playful presence that is found in our four-legged companions. What a joy. So I'm not saying you should get a dog or a cat or a bird or a fish. But what if you found a way to play? So this week, find somebody to play with and be playful. Carry this energy into your community and let that play be the gateway into a deeper connection with the divine. And so I'd like to end this by repeating the prayer that is done in the Science of Mind magazine this month. It's by Reverend Karen Wilson. And so if you'll just join me in this prayerful attitude. Oh, and just knowing the power of the present. So today, I know the energy that is life itself infuses everything. It is the ebb, the flow, the up, the down, the whirl, the swirl, and the twirl. This undulating energy that is God, that is Atman, the inspirational principle of life itself, is alive within and around me. And given this truth, I know that I am dancing with the divine. I live my life out loud, filled with confidence and conviction that my playfulness of spirit is this life force expressed, and it's apparent to all. As I embrace my awareness of this life force, I hear and experience play everywhere, from the sound of the giggling baby to the bubbling cheerfulness of a fresh brook celebrating spring. Today, I embrace the lightness of my heart. I know with each breath comes a new beginning, and I give myself fully to that moment, laughing at the simplicity of life itself. I know without question that as I am playful, life responds in accordance, answering my call, echoing this energy of love and light right back to me. And today I bring the energy of childlike innocence to everything I do. I let go of preconceptions and I simply experience life with confidence of a full and positive outcome. I embrace each challenge with joy, knowing that whatever comes to me is nothing more than a new step. I give myself the flexibility, knowing that as I waltz and swing with life, each turn, each twist is a call for new beginning. I let go of the belief that to be good, to be proficient requires a serious approach. Instead, I smile broadly, laugh unabashed. I take life as it comes, and in doing so, my day is full from morning to night with a heart in harmony with the sound of joy. I am so grateful this energy resides in me. I am grateful to know that I consciously choose to live my life in play. Spirit is alive in me, and there is nothing I need to do but allow it to unfurl into its inherent magnificence. And so I let it be, knowing that as I release this word into law, it is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is.